until our dreams are real, still we rise. Until our dreams are real, still we rise. Until our dreams are real, in struggle we must live. Until our dreams are real, still we rise. I wrote that song after losing the Prop 21 campaign as a young person, and it's an important song for me. Prop 21 was a campaign that propelled my organizing, my analysis. It was a campaign that fought against a ballot initiative that personified everything wrong. It was a ballot initiative here in California that went above and beyond to make a robust criminal justice system, where young people could be tried as young as 14 as adults, where the 3 strikes laws were expanded by changing the misdemeanors to felonies, where building juvenile jails and prisons became a priority in our state, and we lost that campaign. In fact, the last time I was in this hotel, we had targeted this hotel because it was one of the investors in that ballot initiative, and 21 young people were arrested protesting that investment. It was because of that loss that I went off to college. It was because of that loss that I met, fell in love, and became a parent. But I wasn't any kind of parent. I was a youth organizer at the tender age of 20 that became a parent, that embraced being a parent. Shortly after, my organizing buddy, Drew, was shot dead. Shortly after, literally 2 weeks after, another friend was shot dead, and it changed my life. And so I always say that I was birthed by my mother, by the mentors who made sure that I became an organizer at 12 years old, by the people I have lost, and most definitely, thank you, as a result of the many different campaigns and organizations I have had the privilege of being a leader, a member, and an organizer of. I've been organizing for 20 years, and this is my story. And it would be a crime to start the panel about the Bay story without talking about how much the Bay story produced me to be an executive director at the age of 34. I am here because of Brown versus Board of Education. I am here because of the consent decree in San Francisco Unified School District against racial segregation. I am here because of Coleman Advocates' push for the first set aside of general fund dollars in a city budget called the Children's Fund. I am here because of WIMAC. I am here because of Peer Resources and the program that they launched for leadership development of young people called Changemakers. I am here because of Californians for Justice and organizing against the high school exit exam. I am here because of the campaign to shut down the PG&E plant in Bayview Hunters Point. I am here because of the organizing to create the Oakland's Children's Fund. I am here because of Youth Together's organizing for meaningful student engagement. I am here because of years and years of going to Sacramento and pushing for equitable funding in California that resulted in the first statewide funding system with funds principally directed to low-income foster youth and English language learner called Local Control Funding Formula. So it truly would be a crime to not mention all of this and so much more of the organizing that made it possible for us to use the word equity in the Bay Area. It has always been youth and parents pushing the system to respond to the rights that they have been denied. And it has always been organizing, pushing for systemic change. We all now value things that weren't always acknowledged, things that many people were called crazy for pushing for. And it is the result of crazy ideas in communities who wanted nothing more than dignity for themselves and for their children to have the opportunity to learn. I am no different. The intersectionality of my life humbles me. My lived experience gives me the privilege of being able to give this speech with so much passion. I'm a parent of a 14-year-old black girl, a 7-year-old black girl, and a 2-year-old black boy. And we all know what that means. And it is why I do what I do. It is a phenomenal experience to be a parent. And anyone in the audience that's a parent is going to give yourselves a round of applause. We all know that the journey to being a parent and being a parent is hard work, and there are small but important victories. And I have had to advocate for everything that I needed from the moment I became a parent. My daughter, Niani, I knew her. I knew her real well. But from the beginning, doctors told me I didn't know nothing. It was my own advocacy that saved my child's life. It was my advocacy that alerted doctors that she had an abnormal heart. It was my belief in ancient practices that sped up her recovery after her surgery at 4 weeks old, making her one of the few cases in the country that did not require open heart surgery. That was my advocacy. It was my humbleness to get on welfare, a system that I had aged off of at the age of 19, to receive the resources I needed as a parent to be present in her life as she recovered. I left my 4-year degree pursuit and humbled myself to go to community college. I prioritized my daughter for the first 2 years of her life, finding her a preschool that was caring, going to community college, wanting so much to not be in poverty, but accepting that as my reality. I read and I learned and I asked and I didn't take no for an answer. And I knew I had to protect my child, and I knew I had to fight against every stereotype, every prejudice, every step in the process put in front of me, just because I was black, young, a single woman, and a mother. These systems, these agencies, these organizations that supported me, they didn't believe in me. They didn't understand me. They didn't want to believe in my dream. They thought I was crazy for wanting to do policy advocacy. They thought I was really crazy when I wanted to become a policy analyst. They thought I should aim a little lower. They didn't come from my experience, so they didn't want to hear my story. But every time I heard those words, every time that injustice would slap me in the face, it just made me more dedicated. To spend hours upon hours getting approvals for basic things, child care subsidy, books for classes, transportation vouchers, financial aid being dispersed before classes started and to the right account and with my correct name on it. I had to get the hell away from that system. It was literally killing me slowly. But I wanted to make sure my child had stability. So she never changed preschools. I was taking out student loans just to raise my child and go to school. And I knew I would want and I would have eventually a better life. I knew that all the W's, because I couldn't get time off, and all the C's that I had to take literally to just stay alive would be worth it. Most importantly, I knew I had to start organizing again. I met parents who were going to school, working, advocating for themselves, crying at night because one thing you did not do is you didn't shed tears in front of case managers. We did everything people told us to do. We forego our pride and we did roommates. We did part-time jobs and low-wage jobs that would allow us to still get cash aid and food stamps. We did everything people told us. And we never earned the respect of the system. It was an organization called East Bay Alliance for Sustainable Economy, otherwise known as eBase, that brought me out of poverty. It was Coleman Advocates that allowed me to become a director and to build a base of students and parents. It was Bay Area Plan that allowed me to create a full organization building the power of parents. Each of these career jumps, I didn't feel I deserved. I had to overcome all that internal chatter. I had to believe in my dreams again. I had to believe I was worth fighting for. I had to believe that I had a value to add to these organizations. And I still had to be an active parent. I had to still show up and volunteer. I still had to go to field trips. I still had to help organize some events and stuff, you know. Hi, I'm here. I could do whatever I could do in between campaigns and long nights and board meetings. And I could do that because I had sick time and I had flexible hours and I had an organization that believed I could bring my kid to school and come to work and then go and do all the things I needed to do. And while I was a good parent, I helped Coleman leaders organize for the first policy to name the achievement gap in an urban school district as an actual policy issue. I helped Coleman leaders organize the changing of the graduation requirement here in San Francisco Unified School District to align with state university admission. And today I am celebrating because over 70% of Black and brown children are graduating college and career ready. And I have the privilege to be an executive director, and I have the privilege of doing everything that was done and was not done for me, for our leaders. Plan fosters confidence in parents. It beats down their inner chatter. It acknowledges the constant stress of not having your rights respected. It trains them to organize and to normalize that journey toward their dreams. And we build deep relationships and we build parent power and we say the things the system doesn't want to hear. And we push for the investments that need to be pushed for. We literally do transform schools. Today I work on my leadership by overcoming my fears to ask for money. That's what EDs do. Today I aim to grow, plan. I aim to do crazy things like raise $10,000 to fund programs that no foundation will fund. Today I have confidence in my dream of eventually becoming a superintendent. All right. Make no mistake, I am fighting every day for my children. My leadership does not protect them from being Black children in the public education system. Make no mistake that I am definitely a happy leader, but the housing crisis here in the Bay Area still hurts me too. So I may be out of poverty and I may be far from self-sufficiency and I may never be able to move my family from our humble one-bedroom apartment. I may always feel shame that I have a multi-parent family. And I may always have to prioritize my leadership. It never